Hey, Vikings faithful. Skull Nation, are you ready to get hyped about the future of our Minnesota Vikings? We're diving into the hottest topic in Vikings news. Our second-year quarterback, McCarthy, and the big question, does he have the arm to lead us to glory? Buckle up, because we're about to break down why the Vikings are betting big on this kid. And trust me, there's some jaw-dropping stuff to unpack. The Minnesota Vikings shocked the NFL when they snagged McCarthy 10th overall in the 2024 draft. Some called it a reach, others a masterstroke, but one thing's clear. The front office sees him as the cornerstone of our franchise. With a college record of just one loss as a starter at Michigan, McCarthy's got the pedigree, but can he handle the NFL spotlight? So what's the buzz? Let's set the stage with a teaser that'll have you glued to your screen. A viral clip from Vikings OTAs shows McCarthy rifling a pass that's got everyone talking. Is this the arm strength we've been waiting for? Let's dive into the first scene and find out what's got Skull Nation buzzing. Skull Nation, let's talk about that arm. McCarthy's been turning heads at Vikings OTAs, and one name keeps popping up, Josh Metellus. Our star safety didn't hold back, raving about McCarthy's ability to sling the ball with elite zip. He even said it's some of the best he's seen in his NFL career. High praise from a guy who's been around the block. But here's the kicker. Metellus compared McCarthy's arm to former Vikings backup Sean Mannion. Now hold up, before we get carried away, let's clarify. Mannion was a solid backup, but he wasn't exactly lighting up scoreboards. What Metellus meant was that McCarthy's got that same deceptive velocity, the kind that sneaks up on you and leaves defenders scrambling. It's not about being a legend like Mahomes' X-hype machine, but about precision and power. Why does this matter? Because the NFL is one in the middle of the field, and McCarthy's ability to zip passes through tight windows is exactly what Kevin O'Connell's offense needs. So what do you think? Can JJ be the guy to elevate our passing game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's rewind to the 2024 NFL Draft, where the Vikings made a bold move. Selecting McCarthy at number 10 raised eyebrows, especially with scouts whispering about his limited college passing stats. At Michigan, he threw just 2,991 yards in his final season, a far cry from the gaudy numbers of guys like Caleb Williams. But stats don't tell the whole story, do they, Vikings fans? McCarthy's college tape shows a quarterback who thrived in a run-heavy system, often sitting out fourth quarters because Michigan was blowing teams out. His lone loss? A heartbreaker in the 2022 college football playoff against TCU. Yet, even in that game, he showed poise, throwing for 343 yards and 2 touchdowns. The kid's got clutch DNA, but can he translate it to the pros? Here's where it gets interesting. The Vikings didn't draft him for what he did. They drafted him for what he can do. Kevin O'Connell, one of the best quarterback coaches in the game, sees McCarthy as a moldable talent. So, Skull Nation, are you buying the hype? Let's keep digging. Now, let's tackle the elephant in the room. The arm strength debate. Coming out of Michigan, some draft analysts knocked McCarthy, claiming his deep ball lacked juice. They pointed to inconsistent mechanics, not raw power, as the culprit. But let's set the record straight with some cold, hard facts from the NFL scouting combine. McCarthy threw a 61 miles per hour fastball in the arm strength drill, second only to Joe Milton's 62 miles per hour in combined history. That's not just good. It's elite. For context, that's the kind of velocity that would make Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite jealous, slinging it over the mountains. Vikings news reports confirm McCarthy's been showcasing that same zip in practice, silencing doubters one throw at a time. So why the skepticism? The simple. His college system didn't ask him to air it out often. But with O'Connell's playbook, designed to exploit the middle and stretch defenses, McCarthy's arm is a perfect fit. What's your take? Can he stretch the field for Justin Jefferson? Let me know below. Let's zoom in on OTAs, where McCarthy's been stealing the show. According to posts on X, coaches are raving about his elite throws, with some even whispering comparisons to, you guessed it, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, pump the brakes. Those claims are a bit spicy, and we're not buying the hype just yet. But the excitement is real, and here's why. Vikings news sources, like Vikings.com, highlight McCarthy's anticipation and bounce in practice. He's not just throwing hard. He's throwing smart, hitting receivers in stride. One clip from OTAs shows him threading a 20-yard laser to Jordan Addison between two defenders. Pure poetry in motion. That's the kind of play that gets Skull Nation dreaming of playoffs. But it's not all roses. McCarthy's still raw, and ex-posts from analysts like Chase Sr. note he'll have ups and downs due to his limited college passing experience. So, fans, how patient are you with our QB1? Sound off in the comments. Let's talk about the injury scare that had us holding our breath. Back in August 2024, Vikings News broke the story that McCarthy suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee, per Kevin O'Connell. Skull Nation was shook. Our franchise QB, sidelined before his first snap? Thankfully, the recovery timeline was promising, and he's back slinging it in 2025. However, a November 2024 report from DeWolfson KSTP, shared on X, raised eyebrows about a follow-up knee procedure. While not time to hit the panic button, it's a reminder that McCarthy's health is critical. The good news? Vikings.com confirms he's been a full participant in OTAs, showing no signs of rust. That's the resilience we need from our QB. What's the vibe in Skull Nation? Are you worried about JJ's knee? Or is this just a bump in the road? Let's hear your hot takes. Comment below and keep the conversation going. Now, let's get to the heart of why McCarthy's arm strength matters. In the NFL, games are won and lost in the clutch, and McCarthy's ability to zip passes across the middle could be a game-changer. Think about it. With weapons like Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison, our offense is loaded. All we need is a QB who can deliver. Metellus' comments aren't just hype. They're a signal. He's seen guys like Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold throw, and he's putting McCarthy in that conversation. The key? Consistency. Vikings News reports suggest McCarthy's been working on his mechanics, smoothing out those deep ball kinks. If he locks that in, watch out, NFC North. So, fans, picture this. McCarthy dropping dimes in a tight game against the Packers. Can you see it? Drop a skull in the comments if you're ready for JJ to light up US Bank Stadium. Let's talk coaching because Kevin O'Connell is the X factor here. Paired with McCarthy, he's like a quarterback whisperer. Ex-posts from Chase Sr. call O'Connell one of the best head coaches for a young QB's development, and we couldn't agree more. His system thrives on quick, precise throws, exactly what McCarthy's arm delivers. O'Connell's track record speaks for itself. He turned Kirk Cousins into a Pro Bowl caliber QB, and now he's molding McCarthy into a star. Vikings.com highlights how O'Connell's been hands-on, tweaking JJ's footwork and timing. The result? Throws that look filthy. As one ex-post put it, that's our guy. What's the ceiling for McCarthy under KOC? Could he be our next Fran Tarkenton? I want to hear your predictions. Drop them in the comments and let's get the skull chant going. Let's address the doubters because not everyone's sold on JJ. An ex-post from NFL legend LeSean McCoy threw shade, saying McCarthy's tape was nothing special. But let's be real, McCoy's watching highlights, not the full picture. McCarthy's tape shows a winner, with 23 touchdowns to just one interception in OTAs, per a Vikings News report. The knock on JJ is his lack of college passing volume, but that's Michigan's system, not his talent. With O'Connell's guidance, he's already showing growth, hitting receivers in stride and making smart reads. Vikings fans, are you with McCoy, or are you riding with JJ? Let's settle this in the comments. Here's the truth. McCarthy doesn't need to be Mahomes or Brady. He needs to be the best version of himself. And with that 61 miles per hour arm, he's got the tools. Skull Nation, are you ready to see him prove the haters wrong? We're nearing the end, but the excitement's just heating up. The Vikings bet on McCarthy is a long-term play, and 2025 is his proving ground. With a healthy knee and a full offseason under O'Connell, he's poised to take the starting job. Vikings News confirms he's been splitting first-team reps, a sign he's in the driver's seat. But it's not just about JJ. This team is stacked: Jefferson, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. If McCarthy can harness that arm strength, we're talking about a top 10 offense. Imagine US Bank Stadium rocking as JJ leads a game-winning drive. Can you feel the chills, Skull Nation? What's your bold prediction for McCarthy's 2025 season? Rookie of the Year? Playoff berth? Drop it in the comments, and let's see who's got the best crystal ball. Alright, Vikings faithful. It's time to wrap this up with a bang. J.J. McCarthy's arm strength, his growth under Kevin O'Connell, and his resilience after injury have us pumped for the future. The Minnesota Vikings are building something special, and J.J. is the key. Skull Nation, are you as fired up as I am? The road ahead won't be easy. Rookie QBs have their bumps, but with that 61 miles per hour arm and a coach like KOC, the sky's the limit. Let's keep the faith and rally behind our QB1. What's one thing you want to see from JJ this season? Share it below and let's keep the Skull spirit alive. If you love this deep dive into Vikings news, smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more Minnesota Vikings content. Share this with your fellow Skull fans, and let's get US Bank Stadium shaking. Skull Vikings.